In episode 11, I introduced you to the inner workings of the satanic secret society known as Ordo Templi Orientis. We examined elements of Aleister Crowley's rituals that are associated with the first 4 degrees within the order, which constitute a system called the Man of Earth Triad. The next 3 degrees are known collectively as the Lover's Triad. During the course of progression through this triad, the practitioner begins to learn the deeper doctrines of the order in preparation for the dark arts, the sex magic, and the ritual sacrifices associated with the order's highest degrees. The rituals of Ordo Templi Orientis are based, in part, on Aleister Crowley's religion of Thelema. He taught that a person's basest, most primal and animalistic desires should be embraced, especially when it came to sexual relations. Like the Illuminati masters before him, such as Shabbat Zevi and Jacob Frank, Crowley encouraged his followers to give themselves over to unbridled sexual indulgence and to engage in homosexual and pedophilic depravities. Crowley taught that to follow one's sexual instinct is to follow God itself. In the Equinox 3:1, Crowley wrote, quote, "When you have proved that God is merely a name for the sex instinct, it appears to me not far to the perception that the sex instinct is God." Crowley, who believed that he was the prophesied Antichrist figure known as the Beast in the biblical Book of Revelation, wrote a commentary to the Thelema scripture called the Book of the Law. In section 151, he wrote, quote, "The Beast 666 ordains by his authority that every man and every woman and every intermediately sexed individual shall be absolutely free to interpret and communicate self by means of any sexual practices whatsoever, whether direct or indirect, rational or symbolic, physiologically, legally, ethically, or religiously approved or no. Moreover, the Beast 666 adviseth that all children shall be accustomed from infancy to witness every type of sexual act, as also the process of birth, lest falsehood, fog, and mystery stupefy their minds." The privilege of sex with children is understood to be a right among members of the Thelema community. On the Thelema site, hiruraha.org, we read, quote, "The law of Thelema dictates, if a lover of youth finds his true will entwines him romantically with a child, and the child loves him too, for them to deny the joy of their relationship would be a sin." Only the faintest allusions to these wicked and twisted beliefs are given in the lower level Man of Triad degrees. However, as the practitioner begins to make his way through the degrees associated with the Lover's Triad, his indoctrination accelerates. As this degree is rife with symbolism and esotericism, I will divide this degree into 3 short episodes. Let's begin. The 5th degree is called Rose Croix, also called the Rose or Red Cross. A special Rose Croix social group is available to members who have attained the 5th degree or above. One of the chapters of the Rose Croix is called the Baphomet chapter. On baphometchapter.org, we read that the 5th degree is to, quote, "prepare men and women to be in harmony and to establish pleasures between them at gatherings, and it is considered to be the rank of male and female lovers." Chapters of Rose Croix are bodies established by members of the lover grade. A chapter is headed by a most wise sovereign and a high priestess. They are generally charged with arranging social activities such as plays, banquets, and dances. This degree is the equivalent of the standard Masonic ranks of Knight of Rose Croix, Knight of Pelican, and Knight of East and West. The Rose Croix symbol is one that you have undoubtedly seen before. It is used by various Masonic societies and is depicted in various styles. Among the variations of the Rose Cross is the Templar Cross. You may remember the symbol from our episode on the Knights Templar, the ancient order that secretly worshipped Baphomet. The symbol is still used today by people who worship Baphomet, including pop singer Katy Perry. In her 2014 Grammy performance, Perry wore an illuminated red cross, while her performance depicted a satanic ritual, complete with figures dressed as Baphomet in the background. But the origin of the cross goes back even further, into ancient times when the worship of Baal was still common. The rose cross was originally called the Cross of Baal, which was depicted with a circle around the cross, along with additional lines in the shape of an X. You will recall from episode 10 that Baal was known in different cultures by different names, including the name Molech. This is the god to whom the ancient Canaanites and Israelites sacrificed their children. The cross of Baal appears on untold numbers of ancient artifacts, but it also appears somewhere you might not expect to see it. In St. Peter's Square in Rome, where the Pope makes many of his appearances from a balcony, we can see that the lines form the cross, a circle, and the additional lines of the shape of an X, and in the center of it all, a magnificent phallus, a fertility symbol commonly used in secret societies, including Ordo Templi Orientis. The Rose Croix degree leads the candidate into deeper esoteric instruction, including an introduction to Rosicrucianism and Hermetic science. Rosicrucianism was a cultural movement that arose throughout Europe in the early 17th century. The Rosicrucians claimed to possess esoteric truths from the ancient past, which have been concealed from the average man. These truths provide insights into the nature of the physical universe and the spiritual realm. Rosicrucianism became entwined with secret societies, including Freemasonry. Hermetic science, or Hermeticism, is an esoteric tradition coupled with religion and philosophy that is based primarily on the alleged writings of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. These two gods were amalgamated into a single figure named Hermes Trismegistus. Some of the writings of Hermes include the Emerald Tablets, also known as the Philosopher's Stone. Hermeticism teaches the magical principle, as above, so below. Most images of Baphomet show him pointing upward with one hand and downward with the other to symbolize this teaching. The teaching from the Emerald Tablet is that whatever happens on any level of reality, be it physical, emotional, or spiritual, the same thing happens on every other level. It is the belief in microcosm and macrocosm, that both the individual as well as the entire universe exist within each other. And it is through the understanding of the individual self that the entirety of the whole may be understood. In our next episode, we'll walk through segments of the bizarre 5th degree ceremony, and along the way I'll share with you some of the secret knowledge of the order, including worship practices that have origins in the ancient cataclysmic events that once wiped out most of the Earth's population and led to the tradition of child sacrifice to the god Molech. Together, we will bring these ancient mysteries out of darkness and into the light.